AdamandEve.com. I'm talking toys, bondage, lingerie, and so much more. Plus, they have 24/7 customer service, so you can order at 3 a.m. if you ain't coming, if you get me, okay? And if something isn't working out, you can send it back within 90 days, no hassle. And if that's not enough, you can also take pleasure in knowing that 20% of their profits goes to help fight the spread of HIV around the world. So go on ahead and log on to AdamandEve.com. Use the code TASHAK for 50% off one item plus free shipping in the U.S. and Canada. Some exclusions apply now, but hurry up and visit AdamandEve.com so they can make you come. You know what? Bring up this Georgia inmate. You know what I'm saying? Listen, y'all get mad at me when I say Atlanta is home of the scammers. Okay? Atlanta is king of the scammers, okay? Now, this scammer, I wish I hadn't met him, you know? I really do. He could have wired me $4 million. So let me tell you what he did. So he's a Georgia inmate in a maximum security prison in Georgia, okay? This here is a tycoon that's worth over $1 billion, all right? Now, let me tell you what happened. So this man from a maximum security prison, which means he's locked up 23 hours a day, he's supposed to be watched heavily surveilled. What do you call it? Surveillanced? Yeah. Heavily surveillanced. He can't come out on his own. He can't do nothing. All right? Apparently, this man got hundreds of cell phones in his cell. Hundreds of cell phones. And he managed to get, hold on for a second. Let me make sure I get this bank right so y'all won't be careful when you with this particular bank, okay? It's not Chase. It's Charles Schwab, okay? So apparently he has some investment accounts, this tycoon, with Charles Schwab, all right? And he managed to call and impersonate Sidney Kimmel is his name. I couldn't remember all this because it was, I had just got it, okay? Sidney Kimmel over the phone. Because at first I thought it was a prison phone call. I was like, so Charles Schwab is taking collect calls from maximum security prisons in Georgia? But no, he had a cell phone and he managed to disguise his voice as this guy and get Charles Schwab to wire him, wire a company $11 million to purchase gold coins, then had the gold coins sent to a friend on the outside, and they took those gold coins and bought a house in Atlanta. Y'all don't believe me when I tell you anybody can buy a house in Atlanta. Y'all don't tell me. When I tell you they just do the paperwork like the SBA did them PPP loans, and they trying to get y'all to go to jail for the loans that they passed for the kickback. We're going to talk about that in a minute. You know what I'm saying? They just slide the paperwork right over. That's what happened. They just slid it over. And so, apparently, let me tell you this dude's name. He got a real nice name. So Arthur Lee Caulfield Jr. He's 31 years old. This man is almost in his 90s, okay? But he saw that money missing. Okay? It's like he see young pussy now. Now, he bought a house in Buckhead with gold coins. Now, how you purchase a house with gold coins? Who was that broker? First of all, who was the mortgage lender on the house? Who was it? I told you could do anything you want in Atlanta. It is the dream of the dream because everybody is scamming from the banks. Because I wouldn't be surprised the person who allowed the transfer to go through without asking questions or hitting a verification, asking for a PIN code, some ID, for some how did he fax paperwork? How would he fax paperwork? All this from a maximum security prison in Georgia. Like he did it alone. The guards got a kickback too. Shit. Why I couldn't meet him as my baby daddy? Where was he when I needed him? Where were you when I needed you? I just needed one gold coin. That's all I need, just one gold coin. Okay, I mean, when you are that is genius. You wouldn't put it past them. They listen, at first, they didn't even believe. They didn't even believe he did it, okay, till they took the phones and they started backtracking who he was calling and stuff. And what they uncovered blew their mind because they was just like, he did all of this from his prison cell? His prison cell? He already serving 14 years in prison for armed robbery, but now they done added 7 counts of money laundering and bank fraud, amongst other things. So they're gonna add another 20 years onto that. And yeah, I'm like, why I can't meet people like this? Why? What have I done to God? What have I done to God? I would have had more cell phones. Hell, I would have had him a fax machine. Brought it to the prison. I sure would have. Listen. What have I done? This man wasn't missing that money. He wasn't missing it. He worth $1 billion. $11 million. That's like $10 to him. $10. Okay, but that mansion in Buckhead was nice. I wish I had a picture of it, but I ain't want them trying to strike for privacy and stuff like that. You got to get permission to post some houses and stuff like that. But it was a nice house. He got good taste from jail. I said, he done signed mortgage loans. He done sit there in tax records. Okay, he done sit there in paycheck stubs. He done paid the mortgage down payment with a gold coin to a crooked broker, mortgage broker. You know what I'm saying? Then he hit it back. He hit a cut back on the damn underwriter for the mortgage. I'm telling you, can do anything you want in Atlanta. They got these big nice houses and no furniture. You go in there, you be like, hey. What you doing? Because it ain't got no sound, nothing to bounce the sound off of but the walls. That's it. Mm-hmm. But they done bounced his ass back in jail. Oh, and let me tell you, this is an interesting part, okay? You know who his attorney is? Now, I'm trying to figure out how he is able to afford, given that everything was frozen. He has my sister-in-law's attorney, Cardi B. Yeah, his attorney is the same attorney, Drew Finland, that got Cardi B off of those felony charges and misdemeanor charges in New York. So he managed to hire his expensive ass from jail with the gold coins. Now, I know Drew got his gold coin up front. He probably already had him on standby because if he got caught, he wanted that money or whatever. It's probably more than $11 million. I'm going to be honest with you. That's probably just what we know, but he probably had a lot of that routed out, okay, in Bitcoin and all that other stuff. You know what I'm saying? And Drew probably helped him. We're going to say allegedly. Okay, we're going to say alleged because I'm trying to figure out how does he afford an attorney like this, you know what I'm saying, such a celebrity attorney, that's able to talk to feds, you know what I'm saying, out of anything from prison. And he's a white man. And this is a white man he stole from. They just ain't sticking together no more. They ain't sticking together. Moving on. You can't make this up.